For how many years? 18. 18 happy, wonderful, productive years. I remember the Speaker's first day in the House of Representatives, 1986. Special election, yes. I won't do it again. Say what George Miller said. No, you don't. Okay. Okay. So it is great to be here. I want to thank the Speaker for her amazing leadership on this issue. She has always been a beacon in helping children in so many different ways. I want to thank my co-chairs of my chair and co-chair of the DPCC who have joined us, the great Debbie Stabenow and Cory Booker. We have so much talent in this. Thank you. We have so much talent in the Senate, and so proud of both of them. And I want to thank my colleagues in the House, of course, Rosa DeLauro, who has been such a champion here, and Congress members Dingell and Cartwright and Neguse, who have been, and Lou, who have been here as well. So, because of all the work of the people here and so many others, we are able to say to America's families, help is on the way. They need it. So many children in America are in poverty. When a child is in poverty, they may not get, through no fault of their own, they may not get fed properly, clothed properly, educated properly, the best of health care, best of some kind of housing. And when they're younger, when they become young adults, even at 14, 15, 16, they're in a deep ditch. Now, many of them on their own, to their credit, climb out of that ditch, but many can't. And this bill will prevent so many people from falling into that ditch. And believe me, we're so proud it is in the, it was in the ARP, but it's going to live long after the ARP. We know that in our reconciliation bill. So it's last week the checks began to arrive, and it not only helps the poor, it helps a lot of middle-income families. About 80 to 90% of all families will get this help. COVID was tough on middle-class families too. Child care, loss of job, cutback in hours, cutback in pay, more health care costs, more transportation costs, you name it. And this helps them as well. So what we Democrats have done is help the poor, help those in the working class struggling to get to the middle class, and help those in the middle class stay in the middle class despite the ravages of COVID. We're here to help people. We don't sit around and say, oh, we might have to raise taxes on wealthy people like our Republican friends do. No, our job is to help people, help American families. And there's no greater thing that has done that than this CTC, which began this week. 4 million children out of poverty. That alone would be a monumental accomplishment for any Congress. And that's just one of many things that we are doing. So, we're taking taxpayer dollars, giving it right back to Americans' parents. I've heard so many stories. I've stood with so many families like these wonderful folks here in New York. And I know how much this will mean. People cry when they hear this is going to happen. When ministers announce it at their churches, people get up and cheer. I've been there. It's amazing. And I'm so proud of us for doing this. More help will be on the way. We believe in you, America's families. We know it's not easy to get to the middle class if you're struggling to get there, to stay in the middle class if you're there. But for the first time in a while, this federal government is saying, we are going to help you. We're not concerned spending all our time and effort on the wealthy few or the big corporations. We're helping average American families, and we're proud of that. With that, I'm going to have to apologize. I have to leave, but I want to turn it over to Congressman Lieu, who will introduce Daniela Knight.